Ice days, back when he played with Karma in the good old days towards Season 5, Season 6. But we are here in Season X, and everything is new and shiny, and Pittsburgh Knights are trying to keep all that momentum they built in Regional 1. I'm backing them today, Subi. I think that they're going to be a hard team to beat. They love to keep the ball low. They like to keep it slow as well, not the fastest teams that we'll see. And also, we should say for Nefarious, they are off the back of a 3-0 victory over Jamal Jabari, where 2 of the games went to overtime. So they have been grinding, whereas Pittsburgh Knights have had it fairly simple in their first game. So maybe that's a good sign for Nefarious. They'll be more warmed up.
Yeah, it's always one of those interesting topics. You know, you can go one of two ways. Okay, this team's... Oh, that's a nice little angle, but a little too wide. But you go one of two ways. Okay, this team... They've been hot. That is a beautiful pass. In-field play. Who cares about what we were talking about, Cole? This passing play that just developed was a thing of beauty.
I do care what you were saying, Subi, but more do I care about Jwiz nailing that finish into the top corner. What a pass it was. And if that's what we're going to see for Nefarious, then we are up for one interesting series right here. They have started off hot, with that chance being their first and them taking it cleanly. Rodoka's got some work to do in the corner now with Adam below him. They're closing down quickly on Nefarious. It's a good pump from Buddy towards Kinsey. And Pittsburgh Knights right now, they're struggling to break free.
Yeah, they're going to have their work cut out for them. You were saying they play a little slow, and I think they need to try and speed things up against this Nefarious team. I think they'll do well because Nefarious right now is sending 2 forward on the offensive end. Rodoko couldn't find that flip reset at the top of the box. And that's a short offensive push, but Kinsey, nice steal at midfield, rolling through the corner, and Jay Wismont, great clear, putting it to the opposite post, or opposite elbow rather, and Nefarious dealing with the Pittsburgh Knights offense very well, but Pittsburgh Knights really haven't brought forth too much on the offensive end. It's pretty easily defended.
And they're starting to ramp it up now, though. There was a couple of double commits there from Nefarious, but on the other end, another infield pass. This time Buddy to Adam. They seem to be their most effective way of forcing chances for Nefarious. Pittsburgh Knights, meanwhile, trying to nip in ahead of these blue defenders, try and make sure that every second ball falls to them. This is a chance maybe to get on going that's slower, but Buddy's intercepted in the air. Can't go anywhere with it, but it is going to force them back, and ZPS shows all of his experience up against the flying Nefarious man. Here's Rodoko. Can he do something good? Not quite. Jwiz closes it. Kinsey's turn, but Adam should get the block, and it's good defending from Nefarious, but another attack comes in.
Yeah, that was great defense from Nefarious. Had no one up on that back wall, so Adam realizing that he had to go up quickly to defend that double tap and gets there before the offender does. So far, again, great defense. 4 saves on the board for Nefarious. They've turned away every single shot that the Knights have thrown at them.
Yeah, there's been a couple of times where it was looking like any second Pittsburgh Knights would have that clean shot, but in defense, Nefarious looking solid, but in attack, that's well closed down by ZPS when his team really needed him. These infield passes, a huge weapon that Nefarious can use. How about this one? Jwiz doesn't have too much boost, but he does have a steal there, which means that Pittsburgh Knights might be struggling to clear this one away. Look how low ZPS is. He's got 12, but what a flick from him to take all that pressure away, and Adam now on his own backboard has to do some good work.
I'm really impressed with Adam's defense so far. We haven't seen much as far as offensive production from him. So far, only 1 shot. He's playing that third man beautifully. He's in the position, and you see him sitting at midfield. He got baited out a little bit, but I like the patience. He's not full aggro mode right now.
Time just beginning to tick away for the Pittsburgh Knights. Needs something to start connecting soon. This could be it. Rodoko long, but nowhere really. Just trying to put some pressure on Nefarious, but with Adam reading that so cleanly and finding his mate in the center, it doesn't do anything of the sort. And these passes, they were getting scary, but they're beginning to look a bit aimless, and ZPS's shot is onto the crossbar. Kinsey's coming in. Saved again by Adam. ZPS the next touch, and then trickling in. No! Jwiz saves on this occasion. Pittsburgh Knights still can't get the goal they need, and it remains 1-0.
Oh my goodness, any bit of power behind that shot, and we're looking at a tie ball game. But Nefarious get away with Lady Luck there, as we still remain 1-0 in favor of Nefarious. The Pittsburgh Knights still looking for some semblance of offense. It was just a simple mistake that allowed their best look yet. Kinsey turned away by Buddy, and here comes Rodoko. He's got ZPS. ZPS off target. The accuracy not present right now for the Pittsburgh Knights. And my goodness, they almost got punished for it.
I think that was more open than the Nefarious man realized. All he had to do was put that one on target, and surely this game will be theirs. But as it stands, they remain 1-up. Another infield pass from Buddy. I think that's his third beautiful hit into the center. His teammates must really know he'll be looking for them. But we have 15 more seconds left for Pittsburgh Knights to turn this into their own game. And this time, ZPS won't miss a third time. They equalize with 15 left.
It's easy to make it when the defender gets pushed out of net. Buddy had a great look at it, but Kinsey smacks him right out of a box. Great play from the Pittsburgh Knights as time dwindled away.
Now can Nefarious get back ahead of steam of their own? It's been all Pittsburgh Knights for the last minute or so. They have been defending it well, but now they need to do more than just keep the ball at bay. That's a shot from Buddy. Be a little bit frustrated already on Nefarious. They didn't score that second goal and really put this game to bed, but they do have this opportunity even before overtime. Good touch from Buddy. Can't forget the second. Rodoko comes in, and Kinsey will kill it. And Subi, this one can most certainly go either way.
Well, you love to see the Knights answer with just 15 seconds to go on the clock. Crunch time coming down, and Buddy, that's a turnover in the zone. Jay Wismont had already rotated back towards defense. But one thing that's impressed me are those infield passes from Nefarious. They've been sticking with it the entire ball game. One of them is hit. You saw two of them that were narrowly there.
Oof, that was narrowly missed by Adam, but Buddy, thankfully, was on hand just to somewhat clear the ball. As far as Rodoko, who has carried Pittsburgh Knights at times in the games that I've seen of theirs. Not so much this one, but he's definitely a danger man for them. It's Kinsey that blocks down Adam, then gets a demo on ZPS. How much will that open things up? Buddy over the top. Wants a second touch. So did his teammate. And it drops into the center harmlessly, but the boost. Oh, that was a very fortunate boost respawn for ZPS. He was on 0, and suddenly he was on 100.
And a lot of the times, the players have this internal clock, but let's look at that shot. Buddy slows it down. Kinsey was already off the wall, and all he could do was swipe at it.
It was a great read from Jaywiz, who had a top first game there. Infield pass yet again. Kinsey so close to the save. Couldn't quite make it, and Nefarious take their win. And do you know what, Subi? I think they were good value for it. They had the better of the ground game against Pittsburgh Knights, who are a team that I normally associate with these floor-based challenges. So for Nefarious, so far so good.
And you got to respect the fact that they put 12 shots on the board against the Pittsburgh Knights. And Pittsburgh Knights, you were saying it, we both talked about it, their speed, it's not there. Generally a team that likes to slow things down, but against a team like Nefarious, you gotta speed things up just a little bit, because right now they're getting way too comfortable, not only in the Knights' defensive zone, but also at midfield.
Jaywiz, I'm glad to see him at the top of the Nefarious scoreboard with 631 points, because he really stood out for me. Most of the actual infield passes, that final attack would come from Buddy, but the person who was breaking up the play as far as Nefarious is concerned was Jaywiz. He was all over the pitch, and it seemed that whenever Knights were about to launch an attack of their own, he was the man who was getting in the way and stopping them really have the continued pressure that they were so desperate for. So Nefarious will be hoping that Jaywiz can have anywhere near as good a second game. But as for Pittsburgh Knights, we know that they can play a lot better than this. Let's just hope that we see it in this game and going beyond in this series. The kickoff goes. Rodoko would love a chance to slow the ball down. It's something we haven't really seen from Pittsburgh Knights so much. Their chance to actually take a touch and really dribble it out of defense like Kinsey's doing here. When they do, you can see how far he makes it. But Nefarious are closing them down so quickly that it's rare. And even when he managed it there, Adam with the demo on Rodoko sent them right back to their own corner.
Well, for the Pittsburgh Knights, great carry from Kinsey, and great hit there from Jay Wismont using that back wall as an added teammate. But you love to see the Pittsburgh Knights survey the field before they clear that ball. Instead of just bombing it downfield, kind of go, okay, there's where Adam is, there's Buddy, okay, I'm going to slow this down, or I'm going to hit this over their heads. And that's what they need to do for success. ZPS almost hit that double, and Kinsey almost followed it up, but defense still standing strong for Nefarious.
It was Jay Wismont with another block. He's having an absolutely storming game. This time it's his teammate Adam that's needed. He can only go high, but he's a little bit dodgy on the backboard, so Adam is called into action to help him out. Pittsburgh Knights with some good pressure right here. But eventually, Buddy and Adam with an unnecessary double commit do at least manage to get the ball to the other side. Jay Wiz wants to come off the ceiling, but it's closed down quickly by Pittsburgh Knights, and that time Adam slowing down wasn't recommended because in came a Pittsburgh Knights player. Buddy do with his backboard opportunity. It's ZPS covering it. Kinsey and Adam go in. Ridoko wants a flip reset, but can't quite get it. I'd say so far for Pittsburgh Knights, that's how I'd sum up this series. It's isn't quite coming off, even though it's nearly happening.
Right, they're trying to play horseshoes right now. We're almost as good enough, but in Rocket League, almost pretty much never works out for you. ZPS, good challenge in mid-air there. And look at midfield. You see Jay Wismont going back for this challenge. Every time I'm looking at the ball, he's placed himself perfectly, whether it's putting himself in position for an infield pass, whether it's defending, whether it's cutting off passing lanes. Oh my goodness, ZPS almost bumped him out of the way. That ball goes off the crossbar. And once again, the Knights so close, yet so far.
They just need to put these shots on target to Pittsburgh Knights. So many chances at just going either side of the goal or just above it. It's frustrating if you're a PK fan. But for Nefarious, they are clinging on to survival right now in this second game. Need to grow into it a lot more. I'd say this one has been more PKs than the first one was, even though they ended up losing it. Buddy onto the backboard. I think he wanted to find Adam there, but Adam was rotating back. And ZPS with no boost to his name at all can at least get it towards Kinsey via a J-Wiz touch, but the hit over the top and up high isn't really effective. That's a good finish, but Buddy is equal to it in goal. And still, we are yet to see Pittsburgh Knights get in this goal. This could be Ridoko. Oh, it's saved brilliantly by Buddy. A piece of magic from Ridoko. Even that isn't enough to break Nefarious down.
Oh my goodness, Nefarious is a steel vault on defense right now. Adam with the bump, but the shot a little too high. Nefarious firing on all cylinders. But they still haven't found a goal. We're tied up 0-0, min and 50 to go, and good challenge there from Ridoko, not giving Buddy space. But still, both of these teams battling back and forth, but it seems that Nefarious are inching closer and closer to the net.
These two teams do have previous as well, Subi. Game 5 victory for Pittsburgh Knights in the 5th series of the Swiss in Regional 1 was enough to knock Nefarious out of that event. How Pittsburgh Knights will have to do it again here, but an infield pass is red. Nefarious defending so quickly. That demo will do a lot of damage to them. Though.
What is that?
That turbo flick. In comes CPS, but it's saved again by Adam. How are they surviving? You can sense a smash and grab coming. CPS above the goal again. Pittsburgh Knights, what more do they have to do here?
I don't know. They have the entire Nefarious defense boost-starved with a stranglehold, but with this clear, they're all able to boost up and start some offense. And here comes Adam. Great push into that left-hand side. ZPS goes up and uses a lot of boost to get there, and thankfully that one just spawned at the perfect time. And what I was talking about in game 1 is these players have a great internal clock, realizing how long 10 seconds has been since the last time that boost pad was grabbed, and they can drive over it perfectly to fuel up again.
I have to use that internal clock here. Buddy trying to dodge ZPS, and finally they make it through. 30 seconds left, and Pittsburgh Knights have their lead.
You love this shot placement from Kinsey. You just gotta love it. He keeps it low. ZPS made the defender go high. And that's all it takes for the Knights to score. It looked like they were just getting crushed in this matchup. They were getting shot after shot, but just couldn't find their mark. And finally, once again, under a minute to go, they find their first goal.
11 shots for Pittsburgh Knights compared to the 2 that Nefarious have had. But wouldn't it be so Rocket League if somehow they could claw out an equalizer in the last 10 seconds, Nefarious? But not with touches like that from Adam. Kinsey's up, over to the top. Wants to bash J-Wiz out the way, but can't quite do it. This is the last chance one would expect for Nefarious, and it's read in the middle well by Ridoko. Adam's clearance only finds Kinsey, and Pittsburgh Knights find a way to win that second game. But goodness me, Subi, it must be exhausting for all 6 players on the pitch, because the amount of opportunities that are being suppressed by Nefarious must be so frustrating for the Knights.
It's gotta be. I mean, 12 shots on target. That is insane.
Good ones, too.
Good ones, you're right. And a few of them, a little too high, a little too wide. But yeah, most of them were really keeping Nefarious honest. And you just gotta wonder, Nefarious looked like they were in control of that match. And when I see the scoreboard now, it's like, am I watching a different game? What's going on? How are they getting so many shots when it looked like Nefarious were running up and down the field, and more importantly, grabbing those midfield boost pads to really keep the Knights at bay?
Yeah, they seem to have waves of pressure in Nefarious. I'd say for the most part it was Pittsburgh Knights who were looking more likely to score because they held all those shots, but then when Nefarious did manage to break through that attack of Pittsburgh Knights. You could just sense that any second they'd get that bullet infield pass yet again. But in Game 2, Nefarious couldn't do it, and Pittsburgh Knights got their reward. How will Game 3 shape out? It's an early backflip in the air from Buddy. ZPS read it, and now what can he do from the side wall? He's got Rodoko in the center. Adam's already up. It's read well by Adam. Buddy has to slow down for a second, which I'm sure he did not enjoy at all, but he can eventually begin to dribble it away. So it's closed out by Kinsey. Rodoko, a nice early for PK would be huge, and he gets it.
Just constant, consistent pressure right from the kickoff. And you see the challenges on every single ball in the Nefarious zone went in favor of the Knights, and they get an early one here in game number 3, and a much needed one. They continue to carry the momentum from game 2 right into game 3, and it just looks like their offense can't be stopped. It's another opportunity. Rodoko turned away by Jay Wismont, and Nefarious happy to get this one out of their zone and happy to get a look at the orange net.
All Nefarious can really offer at the moment is dribbles out of their own half, forcing these 50-50s, but there's no one there for them to read them. This is another one with ZPS. Jaywiz is there this time. He puts it high. Kinsey's in a little bit of an awkward position, so Buddy onto the backboard is realistic! Woo! And it's more than realistic, it's brilliant, and that's 1-1.
Oh my goodness, this pass from Jay Wismont just feeding Buddy, and Buddy with that ability to get that double tap. It actually may have been off target. Little help from the defense makes it go in, but Nefarious capitalizing on the opportunity there. They didn't get many looks at offense in game number 2, and realizing, hey, in game 3, we might do the same, so we got to make sure we make them all count.
Nefarious are going for a lot of these awkward touches, just putting their Octanes into these strange positions, and then front-flipping or back-flipping the ball into an odder angle than I think Pittsburgh Knights were anticipating. It's almost worked a couple of times. It still hasn't up to this point, but it's definitely something that Pittsburgh Knights need to keep an eye on. How are they forcing this ball? How are they manipulating it in strange ways? There's Buddy again with a weird tip into the corner. Adam reads it, puts it center. Jaywiz can't quite react. Almost game 1 echoes of that infield pass. Pittsburgh Knights survived that one.
And Jay Wismont has been seeing those infield passes ever since those splice days of playing with Karma. Him and Karma not only playing the 3v3s, but 2v2s is where they, their bread and butter was, and those infield passes is where they found their success. So for Buddy and Adam, it's just got to be so nice realizing you can put that ball at mid, and Jay Wismont is not only going to be there, but he's going to be there for the shot, and he's off target there. And Kinsey with a beautiful save.
It was almost every caster's dream thing, Subi, where the play happens as you're talking about it. But sadly, Jaywiz's finish just a little bit above the goal, and you don't get to put that one in your highlight reel. I'm sorry, Subi.
That's all right. It's a low light reel, and mine are full of those.
Jaywiz above Kinsey. Good speed from him. Buddy's along the wing. Wants to get it, but Rodoko puts it to the side instead. Jaywiz does get a great boost steal. Does he take to the ceiling? He doesn't. He actually uses the ceiling creatively for the ball. And now it's Pittsburgh Knights that can't escape from their own half. Adam's coming in to close down Kinsey. Look at these 50-50s. Each one now falling to Nefarious. Adam tries to flick it over CPS, but can't. But in comes Buddy. He must score, and he does. And Nefarious have turned this one right around.
Nefarious giving the PK Knights, well, actually, it would just be PK, a little taste of their own medicine here. Consistent pressure in the orange half, and my goodness, they already have 9 shots in almost one half of Rocket League. Nefarious are on fire right now.
They are. They've completely found their touch and their speed. Oh, that's a good demo, though, from Rodoko on Jaywiz. Another one from ZPS on Buddy. And Kinsey made the most of it. He goes onto the backboard, but Jaywiz had recovered. Even if he didn't get the ball, his 2 teammates are now in formation and should be able to clear this one away. Pittsburgh Knights continuing to focus on the ground play because Nefarious have had so much luck taking to the air and then beating Pittsburgh Knights to the sky to get that next touch. There is another example. Jaywiz over the top of his opponent. It's a 50-50, which goes to the corner. Adam wants to slow it down and does. This one's onto the back wall. Buddy's coming in. Into the ceiling it goes, but Rodoko should be able to clear this long, and he does.
Well, almost a double commit there from Nefarious, and crucial touch there to get that ball towards midfield, but Adam is all the way back in the orange half. He's coming back now, and the numbers advantage didn't work out for the PK. Keep saying PK Knights. What am I doing with my life right now? I mean, come on.
Oh, what a touch from Buddy. We know what he's doing with his life. He's almost forcing goals. In comes Adam, and he manages it. And just PK are so pent back. All of this came because Nefarious actually had quite a poor clearance. But Pittsburgh Knights, they were all way back in their own half. And by the time they came out to the ball, Nefarious had recovered and they had the chance.
One thing I hate to see is when an entire team decides to rotate out of the zone when they have offensive pressure just because they need boost. They're all sitting around 20 and then they go, oh, we need a full boost pad. No, you can keep pressure even with 10 boosts in the tank, even with 0. Pick up those dimes and just keep the defense honest. That's all it takes. But right now, Nefarious with a beautiful lead here, 2-goal lead, 45 seconds to go. Rodoko with the double, but Buddy saw it coming and cut off that lane perfectly.
There's a top save from him, and Jwiz goes over the top of ZPS. It won't make its way in the goal, but it will beat Pittsburgh Knights back again. Sorry, the PK Knights, as they're now known. Rodoko on the left. Jwiz beats him to it. Kinsey's waiting underneath, just hoping, not expecting that ball to land his way. Buddy, you know, it looked poor from him. It looked awkward. Oh, goodness me, I didn't realize that Rodoko was behind ZPS there. But I was going to say, from Buddy there, it looked awkward, but he actually stole 4 or 5 seconds off the clock. And for Nefarious, that is exactly what they need right now. Every lost second is a victory.
Yeah, and this one is going to be going in favor of Nefarious here. And getting the series advantage. And Buddy putting a little exclamation point on this game and getting himself a hat trick.
Will feel good for him. I think Adam had that touch there, but Buddy was like, no, don't do it. I want my hat trick. I want my name up in lights. Those extra points on the scoreboard, and he gets them. And it's been a great performance from him and all of Nefarious. They have just, they've beaten Pittsburgh Knights all over the pitch right now. I'd say in particular in the air. These air touches that they're getting are just putting Pittsburgh Knights on the back foot every time.
Wait until you see the scoreboard and when you see Buddy's name pop up. Just wait for it. Look at that. 885 points, 3 goals, 1 assist, 3 saves, 8 shots. You want to talk about a kid doing everything for his team? And I'm not saying Nefarious didn't do anything, but Buddy, my goodness, you can let your teammates do something too.
That is a roulette wheel of a scoreboard. So many high numbers next to Buddy's name. Normally when you see a player get 8 shots, they don't also have saves in the locker, which shows that he was just all around that pitch. So an easy man of the game performance there from Buddy. So we've seen 2 of them pop off. We've seen Jwiz and we've seen Buddy. Both have great games. Well, Adam has been consistent throughout as well. I'd say that at the moment, all 3 Nefarious players are at the top of their game, whereas for Pittsburgh Knights, none of them are really standing out to me.
Well, and for Nefarious, they're all just slotting into their roles perfectly. And Jwiz couldn't catch up to that. I thought they were going to have this. I was certain of it, but Kinsey just steals that one away and just goes the length of the field.
Just like that, Pittsburgh Knights get themselves a lead. In Game 4, it was easy as you like from Kinsey. Just had to pick his spot. And within 8 seconds, Pittsburgh Knights find themselves 1 up in this one. That's a really good kickoff as well. Can Buddy get the save? Yes, he can, away. But just a sign that Pittsburgh Knights are going to step up right now and do what teams, that are good enough to make it into the playoffs in these brutal Swiss formats do. Goodness me, Rodoko, what on earth was that? They get away with it. But good lord, Subi, that was scary.
It was calculated. See, they wanted to get the ball into the right corner here. And get the boost steal. They were totally doing that on purpose.
Oh, fair enough. These players, they see the game in a different way to myself.
I mean, that's why they're pros, and that's why you're terrible at this game.
Honestly, whenever I do that, it finds its way into the back of the net. But Kinsey over the top of the crossbar can't find his way into the back of the net, and so too will Jwiz have a go. It comes out for Buddy. Into the center. Wants Jwiz to get a touch there. He does. Just past the post. I think that was by design rather than accident. Didn't want the keepers to be able to boom it away. So fairly clever from Jwiz. Didn't work out in the end though, so they're sent all the way back. Nefarious. A little bit boost starved too, so the touch isn't great. Rodoko up against Adam. He reads it well. Kinsey has a chance to slow it down. He loves to do this. Take to the sky. All the time in the world to force a solo play. It falls to Rodoko this time. Wants to bump Adam out the way, does Kinsey, but he can't. And Pittsburgh Knights, their slow and steady approach is almost bearing fruit there. But down the other end, Buddy with a quick 1-2. Saved by Kinsey.
Oh, and Jwiz absolutely harassing Rodoko there. Not only stole his boost, got a little bump, and then took him off the field. But Kinsey looking for that angle, can't quite find it. And here comes Jwiz. Keeps pressure, but Rodoko, fantastic challenge there to strip that ball away. And Adam, great pinch. Doesn't go on target, but puts a little offense on the board, and Jay Wismont turned away by Rodoko.
There was half a bump on Rodoko as well from Buddy. He couldn't quite connect with his opponent properly, so Rodoko was still able to get something of a touch on that ball, but it was that close, I would say, to Nefarious, at least having a proper chance to equalize. These bumps looking good for them. So too are these infield passes. Adam onto the backboard. ZPS to the corner. Jaywiz is underneath it. We'll try and put that one central. ZPS and Rodoko get in each other's way in a big way. Jaywiz is waiting, begging for the ball, but it's too high from Adam. The Nefarious have stepped up though. This game started poorly for them. Now they're looking more to score the second goal. Onto the backboard it goes. ZPS and Kinsey get the save between them. And the crossbar helps too. Maybe this time Jaywiz into the center. And he gets the goal. It was chance after chance. And finally we have the equalizer.
Oh, Jay Wiz missing a good opportunity right before this, but he stays in the zone. You love to see it, and gets the power on that shot to tie us up right at halftime.
It was a dunk this time, but another Buddy assist. This man just has such awareness of when his teammates are in the center and screaming for that ball. The comms going great right now for Nefarious. And Pittsburgh Knights, they're not staring down the barrel just yet, but the gun has entered the building. They are looking a little bit awkward in this series, especially if this goes in. What an effort from Jaywiz. Kinsey with the save. He showed his awareness. But Nefarious, they are just the much more likely team to get this one.
And they are just playing in perfect synchronicity right now. And Rodoko beats out Buddy on that shot. This is going to be a chase down for Adam, and good play there. But ZPS gets the angle. And how about Jay Wismont? We talk about how much he does for his team. With a perfect rotation, comes in off that backboard and gets a much needed save.
That was such a good pass from Rodoko to ZPS, but Kinsey, he just decided against bombing forward, taking that risk to be at the end of that transition. It genuinely could have been a goal for Pittsburgh Knights there, if only they'd taken their chance. Starting to look a little bit reluctant again, but he tries to get the perfect 50-50 against ZPS. Doesn't quite happen, and now Rodoko goes long. 2-1 up Nefarious. So close to this upset, especially if they can get this next goal, but Kinsey again saves. They're starting to get a read on the infield passes of Pittsburgh Knights, starting to expect them. So now, I want to see Nefarious focus a little bit more on solo plays and just surprise them once again.
Right, because this is an opportunity. Here's Buddy with the shot, but ZPS with the block. And now that we're under a minute to go, expect to see a little more hesitancy coming out from the Pittsburgh Knights. Here comes Jay Wiz, going to slow this ball down. And challenged by ZPS goes in favor of the Pittsburgh Knights, and tons of space given. You see the respect from Nefarious. They don't want to give Pittsburgh Knights an opportunity in Game 5, but Buddy with the shot over the defense.
What a finish it was as well. Adam finds him, and then look at this touch from Buddy, just elevating it deftly over the top of Rodoko. And with 33 seconds left, Nefarious are on the cusp of revenge for the result in Regional 1. Pittsburgh Knights put them out of that regional. Can Nefarious do what they couldn't do before and destroy Pittsburgh Knights here? It's a good clearance from Adam. He's chasing it down well as well. Kinsey has got pretty much no boost to work with, so while he gets the touch, it's only as far as Jay Wiz, but that's a quality 50-50 from him. ZPS into the corner. 15 seconds left now. What do Pittsburgh Knights have? It's Buddy who's getting these clean touches. Pittsburgh Knights need this ball to be theirs. ZPS does find a little bit of space, but it's back into the center, and Adam can slow it down even more. Time is ticking away. This is the final chance. Will they even get that? No, they won't. Nefarious have done what they could not do before and beaten Pittsburgh Knights.
And after this one, they beat him into a pulp. Nefarious looking so dominant here and really outplaying the Pittsburgh Knights, and it's gotta be on the back of Buddy. I mean, it looked like it was gonna be Jay Wismont at the very beginning of the game, but once you truly put it under a microscope and looked at Nefarious, Buddy was all over. He was getting the assists, he was getting the shots, he was getting the goals, and most importantly, getting the saves for his team when they needed it most.
I agree with you completely, yeah. I was thinking after games 1 and 2 that Jaywiz was going to be the key here for Nefarious, but it was not to be. With the performance that Buddy put in, he was able to put his team really on his shoulders, and if not carry them to that victory, at least be a huge component in the way that they played. And Pittsburgh Knights, I feel like they're a team that, when it starts to go against them, they don't really have a plan B. Their slow and steady way of playing can be effective if the team that they're playing starts to get frustrated, but Nefarious never looked like getting frustrated. They just continued to play that game, and they did it very well indeed.
Yeah, I agree with you. Pittsburgh Knights, especially in the last 20 seconds, they're down one and they're still trying to slow it up. Still a little hesitant and spaced out when you got to just send the house right there. You got to send everything you've got, and ball dies in their own half, and you hate to see it. But thankfully, due to this wonderful format of Swiss, I love this format. You know that we're going to see more for them today. Now they're at 1-1 and still have a great shot at making it into next weekend.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Knights will most certainly take some lessons from there. But what lessons do you think that Pittsburgh Knights need to take? Let us know on Twitter by @RL Esports and using the hashtag RLCSX. Otherwise, be back in a few minutes' time because we have got Envy versus Frontline.